Master Sergeant Robert Thompson stared at the stack of unpaid medical bills scattered across his kitchen table. 3 tours in Afghanistan, 2 Purple Hearts, and an ID explosion that cost him both legs, yet the biggest battle was happening right here at home. His 7-year-old daughter Sarah, born with a rare genetic condition, needed surgery that would cost $150,000. "Daddy, why are you sad?" Sarah asked, wheeling her small wheelchair next to his. Her bright smile could light up any room, but Tank's heart broke knowing he couldn't give her the medical care she desperately needed. The VA covered his prosthetics, but Sarah's condition wasn't their responsibility. His wife Maria worked 3 part-time jobs, but insurance companies kept denying Sarah's claims. Experimental treatment, they called it, though doctors insisted it was her only chance at walking normally. Tank had faced enemy fire without fear, but watching his daughter struggle with simple movements terrified him more than any battlefield. That evening, Tank did something he'd never done in his military career. He swallowed his pride and wrote a letter asking for help. "Dear President Trump," he began, his prosthetic hand shaking as he typed. "I gave my legs for America. Now my daughter needs America's help to find hers." He attached Sarah's medical records, photos of her therapy sessions, and a video of her saying, "I want to run with Daddy when he gets his robot legs." At midnight, Tank sent the email and prayed for a miracle he wasn't sure would come. 5 days passed with no response. Tank tried to stay strong for Sarah, but each medical appointment brought worse news. The surgery needed to happen within 2 months, or her condition would become irreversible. Maria cried herself to sleep each night, and Tank felt like he was failing the 2 most important people in his life. On Thursday morning, Tank's phone rang with a Washington, D.C. number. "Sergeant Thompson? This is Jennifer Walsh from President Trump's office. The president read your letter about your daughter Sarah, and he'd like to meet your family. Can you come to Walter Reed Medical Center this Saturday?" Tank nearly dropped the phone. "Ma'am, are you sure? We're nobody special." Jennifer's voice was warm and reassuring. "Sergeant, the president specifically said that anyone who gave their legs for America is someone very special indeed." Saturday arrived gray and cold, matching Tank's anxiety. As they entered Walter Reed, Sarah's eyes went wide at the impressive military hospital. "Daddy, is this where they fix soldiers?" she asked. "Yes, sweetheart," Tank replied, "and maybe where they'll help fix you too." When President Trump entered the room, he immediately knelt to Sarah's eye level. "Hello, beautiful. I heard you're a fighter, just like your daddy." Sarah giggled and showed him her favorite stuffed animal, a small American flag bear named Freedom. "Sergeant Thompson," Trump said, standing to shake Tank's hand, "your country owes you a debt we can never fully repay. But we can start by making sure Sarah gets the surgery she needs." Tank's eyes filled with tears for the first time since losing his legs. In the quiet hospital room, Trump listened intently as Tank explained Sarah's condition and the financial impossibility of the required surgery. Maria held Sarah close as doctors had given them just 6 weeks before the window for treatment would close forever. "Mr. President," Tank said, his voice breaking, "I've never asked for anything. I served because I believed in what we were fighting for. But watching my daughter suffer when I can't help her, it's the only battle I've ever felt like losing." Trump placed his hand on Tank's shoulder. "Sergeant, you haven't lost anything. Sarah's surgery will be fully covered, not as charity, but as America honoring its commitment to your family." He turned to Sarah, who was listening with wide eyes. "Sweetheart, how would you like to have your surgery right here at Walter Reed, with the best doctors in the world?" Sarah looked at her parents, then back at Trump. "Will I be able to run with Daddy?" Trump smiled, his own eyes glistening. "Sarah, I promise you'll not only run with your daddy, You'll probably beat him in a race." The room fell silent except for the sound of Tank openly weeping, tears of relief, gratitude, and overwhelming emotion. Maria hugged Sarah tight as Trump made a call right there in the room, arranging for the nation's top pediatric orthopedic surgeon to take Sarah's case immediately. "There's one more thing," Trump said before leaving. "When Sarah is running around healthy and strong, I want you to bring her to the White House. I'd like to meet the little girl who reminded me why we fight so hard to keep America great." 3 months later, Sarah Thompson ran across the White House lawn, her laughter echoing across the South grounds as her father chased her on his prosthetic legs. The surgery had been a complete success, and Sarah's recovery exceeded even the doctor's most optimistic predictions. "Mr. President," Sarah called out as Trump emerged from the Oval Office. She ran directly to him and hugged his legs. "I can run now, just like you promised." Trump lifted her up, both of them beaming with joy. Tank and Maria stood nearby, watching their daughter's miracle unfold. The experimental surgery at Walter Reed had not only restored Sarah's mobility, but had been so successful that other children with similar conditions were now receiving the same treatment through a new program Trump had established. "Sergeant Thompson," Trump said as Sarah played with the Marine One helicopter crew nearby, "your daughter didn't just get her legs fixed. She helped us fix a system that was failing too many military families." Tank saluted crisply, no longer the broken man who had written a desperate letter months earlier. As they toured the White House, Sarah asked a million questions, her boundless energy and curiosity bringing smiles to everyone they met. In the Lincoln bedroom, she whispered to Trump, "Is this where Abraham Lincoln slept?" When he nodded, she added, "Daddy says he was brave like you." Before they left, Trump knelt beside Sarah one final time. "Remember, sweetheart, you're proof that America never gives up on its heroes or their families." Sarah nodded solemnly, then grinned. "Mr. President, race you to the car." As Sarah sprinted ahead, her parents walking hand in hand behind her, Tank realized he had never lost the most important battle after all. Sometimes victory just takes a different form than you expect, and sometimes it runs on two strong, healthy legs toward a brighter tomorrow.